At Toulouse, Duke Odo of Aquitaine, known as Odo the Great, defeated a major Muslim invasion force, breaking their siege of the city and stalling the Umayyads' westward expansion. This was in 721 AD, 11 years before Charles Martel sent the Arabs fleeing for good. While Charles' victory overshadows Odo's earlier success, it is likely that if the Duke had failed and Toulouse had fallen, Charles would never had enough time to solidify his power and build up his army. Duke Odo's victory at Toulouse gave Charles the time he needed to be ready for that fateful battle. The governor of Al-Andalus, or Muslim-controlled Spain, had decided to build up an army and conquer Aquitaine. Bringing siege engines, infantry, some horsemen, and mercenaries, he laid siege to Toulouse. Duke Odo looked to Charles for help. Despite this, Charles provided no assistance to Odo, and he was left to deal with the threat alone. Assembling an army, 3 months later the Duke attacked, just as the city was preparing to surrender. Odo showed battlefield brilliance in this engagement. He initially fled, which caused the Muslims to grow overconfident, and then they failed to bolster their outward defenses. They were completely unprepared when Odo returned, surprising them with a pincer maneuver. What could fight was scattered, and the rest made an attempt to flee, many without weapons or armor. Duke Odo's forces slaughtered them during this confusion, and only a fraction of the invading force got away. Duke Odo's victory at Toulouse earned him renown and recognition, yet 11 years later his reputation would disappear. The Arabs would beat him easily at Bordeaux. Despite this, we shouldn't forget Odo's success at Toulouse. Like Tours, it was a decisive victory that held off the Arabs. Though Charles Martel would permanently send them home, Odo bought France enough time to deliver such a blow. Odo the Great was easily broken by the Arabs in 732 AD, just as Odo had easily broken the besiegers of Toulouse 11 years earlier. Why had the Arabs returned? Were they seeking vengeance for their failure at Toulouse? Odo had made the mistake of allying with a Muslim in 730, Uthman ibn Nasa, who the Franks knew as Munuza, who ruled over Catalonia. He cemented this alliance by giving up his daughter to Uthman. Having legitimized and aligned himself with Munuza, the Arabs stopped raiding the Duke's southern border, a compromise. Uthman, a year later, rebelled against Rahman, the governor of Al-Andalus, or Muslim-controlled Spain. Munuza's revolt was crushed easily, and then Rahman set out after Odo. Odo met Rahman at Bordeaux. The Muslim cavalry broke Rahman's army, made up almost entirely of infantry, and slaughtered the routed force as they ran. Odo had never had to face the Arab cavalry in the field at Toulouse. They had no time to mobilize thanks to the Duke's surprise attack. With Odo out of the picture, southern France was pillaged and plundered. The devastation was striking. Christians were slaughtered at the river Garonne. Isidorus Pensinus commented that God alone knows the number of the slain. Charles Martel would soon come to Aquitaine's assistance. Odo, completely defeated, agreed to come under Frankish authority in exchange for Charles' help. As the Muslims continued to devastate France, a major raiding party made its way to Tours. One motive was to loot the Abbey of St. Martin, which was one of the most wealthy and prestigious monasteries throughout Europe. While Odo had been the champion of Christianity 11 years earlier, his compromise with the Berber Munuza put the entirety of France at risk. He had given up his daughter to a Muslim, only to nearly give up Aquitaine to the Muslims. Charles cemented his authority by coming to Odo's rescue and would further solidify that power by brilliantly crushing Rahman at Tours.